Hello, 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 everybody. This is Tanika Steens, and this is Mind Your Business. And tonight, I have a very special guest. Her name is SHAI Lynn Johnson, and she is the youngest of her three siblings. She has two older sisters, and her oldest sister and the middle child is Shauna Johnson. And her dad and mother are Crystal Johnson and Jay Johnson. Jay Johnson is formerly retired from the U.S. Air, and he is no longer with us. She lost him in 2018, but because of that, she's been inspired to do so much. And this is a beautiful young lady that is thankful with the help from God, her family, and teachers. She's overcome a learning disorder. She had dyslexia, and now she reads more fluently than she ever had when she started reading. And not only that, but this young lady has written a book called The Magical Butterfly, and she won first place in a young authors competition. And so tonight, she's just here to talk to us about what it was like overcoming dyslexia and being a child of God and just understanding how she can overcome. And right now she is attending college and she can tell you all about that. And so with no further ado, I would like to introduce Miss SHAI Lynn Johnson. Welcome to Mind Your Business. And thank you for being my guest tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thank you. So your mom really brags about you a lot. She thinks very highly of you. And I feel like I know you just based off of your mom and the way she talks about you. But I want you to talk about yourself. This is a time for you. And it's hard sometimes for people to talk about themselves, and I understand that. But nobody can tell your story better than you. So if you would, Miss SHAI, tell us who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Well, I am SHAI Johnson. I am a junior at UNF, which is University of North Florida in Jacksonville, Florida. I wrote a children's book when I was in the fourth or fifth grade. And it was an assignment that we had to do for class. And I just wanted the easiest thing for me to write about at that time was about my life. I have moved to Indiana, Muncie, Indiana, and I was in Longfellow. Very proud of Longfellow. It helped me flourish. So this book is basically about that. And the reason why I didn't want a butterfly is because I felt like that was me. Butterfly, it starts with a cocoon. So I felt like that was me. I was in my own shell. And the environment, it just helped me break out of that shell and become a beautiful butterfly, a magical butterfly.
Yeah. And so reading your bio, you said that you found time to just explore your imagination and you like fairy tales and things like that. So can you talk a little bit about how that inspired you to write your book?
Yes. Well, with dyslexia, it's very hard to comprehend most things. So I had to use my imagination a lot just so I could focus in school. I wouldn't fidget or anything like that. So having a big imagination helped me focus. It helped me stay on track. It helped me not stress at a young age.
Yeah. You are going to inspire so many young people tonight. And if you don't mind, because there are some children right now that are in the classroom and some are virtually learning. And I know that they are having struggles. And sometimes we don't know that the children are even dyslexic or have a situation until later on after they graduate. So can you talk about the early stages when you found out, if you were really aware, or how you addressed it, if you will?
I really wasn't aware that I had dyslexia. It wasn't until in the third grade, I had just moved to Muncie, and the principal at Longfellow, he was very nice. He was helpful with everybody, and he sort of noticed that that I was struggling in classes and everything. And I think he talked to my dad, because my dad's a very friendly person. He talks to everybody. And they got on the topic of me, and he said that he thinks that I should get tested at Sylvan. And that's how I kind of knew. That's how we found out that I had dyslexia.
Wow. You know, the fact that he saw something in you and wanted to help, that is really good, because a lot of times we get overlooked in those situations. And so that just shows that he was good at being the principal and acknowledging his students. And so we thank him for acknowledging that, because if that not had happened, you may not be sitting here today. So there are some good teachers out there and principals that really care.
And also, if it wasn't for my mom, she worked with me when other people, I got frustrated a lot, and I feel like she was the only person who knew how to calm me down. Mm-hmm. So if it wasn't for my mom just taking patience and working with me.
Totally. And, you know, I totally understand, because I have a young daughter who is 16 now. And when she was younger, we seen that she was having some problems, and she's never been diagnosed, but she was just having some problems with sitting still and learning. And she would say the alphabet backwards. And so she was in public school, and it was just hard for her to comprehend and to just really grasp it. So we took her out of that and put her into a charter school, and that really helped her. Right now, she's in the 10th grade, and she makes straight A's, and you know, just a different way of learning actually helped her. And we all learn differently. So can you talk about what type of style of learning works best for you?
Yes. When I was in probably about middle school was when we found out my type of learning. My mom would sit me down every night, ask if I had homework, and if I did, what kind. And especially on the English portion or the reading portion, I would have to read it, and then she would read it back to me, just so I can make sure I got my words right and that I comprehend everything. She had me point out each individual word so I wouldn't mess up the words. And then she had me read it over again just to make sure I got everything.
Yeah. And you know, that it takes a lot of patience and time. And not only, I'm sure that you would get frustrated, but sometimes mom might get frustrated, and it's a two-way street. But you guys are so close, and you have such a loving relationship and a loving family. I know that God was right there every step of the way, just seeing you through, because looking at you right now, if no one knew what you had to go through, just talking to you, I don't mean looking at you, but talking to you and holding a conversation with you, if you didn't tell anyone about what you went through, they wouldn't know that just off of talking to you.
No, ma'am. My mama worked with me really good.
Yeah. So we thank God for mothers and praying mothers, and for dads, and for all those educators who care about the well-being of our children. So when you decided to write this book, let's talk about that a little bit more. What inspired you to just sit down? Because, I mean, from not being able to read to want to write a book. Now, first, let me ask you this. Did you not like reading, or was it that you just had a trouble with reading?
It was just hard. I always wanted to try reading because that was the hardest thing to me. So I wanted to overcome it. And I got frustrated a lot. I won't lie. My letters just kept getting mixed up. So it wasn't like I didn't like reading. It was just really hard.
Right. And that's the difference that I wanted to just make that point, that it wasn't that you didn't like reading. And sometimes we might think that, oh, you're just being stubborn, you don't want to learn, but that's not the case. It's just a different way that you need to learn. But then to pick up a pen or a pencil and start writing and telling a story, that's amazing. So when did you first know that you wanted to write?
I guess it wasn't until I started writing the story, because I felt like if I couldn't read, I couldn't write a good story, but I did, and I wrote it because I wanted to read it.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like when we did make this into a book, I felt like if I could read it, somebody else could. Somebody else with dyslexia, somebody else with learning abilities, they can read this book.
Amen. Do you happen to have a copy of the book on hand
Yes,
that you can
ma'am.
show everybody what it looks like? Who did the artwork?
It was a combination of Christopher Loud and me.
That is so nice. And that young lady on the front, does that represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, if you don't mind, and you can tell me no, do you mind reading just like a little paragraph out of it for us?
I don't mind at all. Okay. So this is going to be like the first 2 pages.
Oh, those illustrations are beautiful. I love it.
Okay. So it's once upon a time, there was a beautiful little girl named Lynn. Lynn was a very smart girl and loved nature. She loved playing outside in her garden and laying in a nearby meadow, listening to the birds sing. Lynn would play in her garden for 3 days, then lay in the meadow for 3 days. On the 7th day of the week, she would stay inside and work on math problems. Although Lynn was comfortable in nature, she was very shy around people. At school, Lynn would always play by herself at recess and sit by herself at lunch.
Wow. You are a very good storyteller. Not only are you a great reader, but just the way that, sometimes people read and they just read word, 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 but you actually are telling the story. And that is awesome. A lot of people can't do that. And
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
look at your mom. She's back there so proud. She's smiling at you. Let me see your face, Miss Crystal. You can smile in the camera. Come on, let's see your face. I knew it. I said she over there cheesing. But I mean, that just makes you feel so good because as you was reading that, it just filled me up because I'm just like, wow. Because I love to read and I love to tell stories. And I have a 6-year-old that is got a little bit of some learning problems. And her and I tell each other stories. And she likes to write books, and she will staple papers together and draw pictures. And she actually wrote a book about her and her little brother. And she's 6 years old. And I'm just like, wow. And that's because I believe in those senses. You have a different heightened sense of awareness and a intellect that some people don't have. And you are a very compelling storyteller. Some people can tell stories, but you're very compelling because you told the story. You emphasized on certain words. That was just like, I could see the garden and I could see her laying there and playing without even seeing the pictures. It's just the way that you illustrated it through your words.
Thank you.
Someone has a question, and they said, Latasha Johnson wants to know, how did you know that there was something wrong with reading and comprehending things? She did mention that earlier, but if you don't mind, would you tell her again, if you don't mind?
It was when I was reading, the letters and the words would feel like mixed up. Couple of letters that got mixed up for me were my B's and my D's or my M's and N's. They would always get like mixed up in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes we just get mixed up and that's just how it is. But sometimes we have a gift that has to be explored. And that's all it was God was just showing you your gift in a different way. And I'm just grateful that you took the time to share your story. And not only that, how did you enter it in? Was it, okay, so let me ask you this. Were you in class and it was a project, or did you just write the story and then enter it into a contest?
It was an assignment for the class, but my teacher liked it, so the whole school, I think, decided to enter it into the Young Authors Contest.
Awesome. So how much does your book cost?
It is $6.
Okay. And where can you get the book?
You can get it from my website. It's called jchrissy.winksite.com/Lynn. Or you can buy it on Amazon. If you look up The Magical Butterfly by SHAI Johnson, it's at Walmart, Barnes & Noble, a couple other sites too.
Cool. That's awesome. I really am going to try to do something because I think I would love to be able to purchase some of your books for kindergartners to read.
My middle sister, Shauna, she's actually working on a order form for me, which it'll have like my book. I also do customized bundles. It's like there's like a reading pillow, a mask, necklace, water bottle, and a t-shirt.
Look at you, entrepreneur.
Yes,
Everything else. Look at that. That is beautiful. Can you show us some of the items that's in the back?
Yes, ma'am. So this is the mask for the magical butterfly. Okay.
That is nice.
I also have the reading pillow.
I love that.
We have just like a little butterfly necklace. We have the water bottle. And we have the t-shirt.
That is so cool. I'm going to reach out to some people because I used to, I'm an advocate of books and reading and children reading. And I've done book drives. I've done book drives where we have got, I want to say raised, but we've got over 1,000 books donated. And we've donated books to different organizations. And so this one organization that I was with, they always do something in a way of books for kindergartens, but I'm going to see if I can partner with them or if they'll partner with me on trying to learn your story because they do some really awesome things for people. And I want to tell them about you and see if
you so much.
And if not, then I'm sure me and my husband can put something together and support you in some type of way.
Thank you.
How much are your baskets?
Our baskets are $20 depending on which basket you get. I have multiple.
Wow. So that basket right there is $20?
This basket is $25.
Okay. That is still I'm like, that is a steal, young lady. That is beautiful. That's a gift within itself because all of the things that you have in there, just the necklace alone and the pillow, that is amazing. And so do you make any of those items yourself or?
I make all of it. I sew and customize and label the pillows. I label the masks. I make the t-shirts and I make the decal on the water bottle.
And so are you incorporated in business?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well then we need to talk.
Not yet.
No, but you will be because when we get off of here, I want to talk to you some more about getting you incorporated and getting your business out there because not only is it that you've overcome one situation, but you have turned this into a business. And that's what people don't understand. You were created with a purpose, no matter what that is. And you can take that purpose and it's your gift and you can share it with the world. And we want to get your gift out there to the world because there are people that need to know your story. There are people that need to know that whatever they're going through, they can overcome. And if they hear your story and they understand what you've been through, I could see you right now just going to schools and talking to children. I can see you reading your story to people. There's a young lady that I think it's Pete the Cat, and she reads that story for bedtime stories. And I usually do it with my daughter at night. And she will just tell a story at night. But you're a better storyteller. And so I think that would be awesome. Like if you just got online and started reading your book online, do you do that at all?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, we need to talk. So I definitely want to give you some ideals on, and you're probably like, I don't want to do all that. I just wrote a book. But no, you are an amazing young lady. And
Thank you.
often we don't give kudos to those who are making a way out of no way and that are making a difference and that are just doing things when, you know, you could be doing so many other things. You're going to school, you're making products, you are encouraging others. I'm encouraged. And I mean, I'm just sitting here in awe of you and your mom, just the things that she said about you. You are an amazing young lady, but just talking to you, you are even more amazing than I can even imagine. And I'm just so grateful that I have you on my show tonight because you are the reason why I do this. So people like you can have a platform to be able to tell their story, to share with the world, to let other people know that if you can do it, they can do it too. So is there anything else you would like to tell us about yourself, your book, your products? What's your journey in life? What's your next adventure?
I am in the process of working on 2 more books.
Awesome.
They're more generated to boys' books. I just felt like there's not enough books for boys.
And you're diverse too, girlfriend. You are awesome. Nobody left out. That is amazing.
Yeah.
It is. So, you know, sometimes we got to pat ourselves on the back. And you deserve that. You deserve to pat yourself on the back. Kudos to you. Congratulations on all that you do and all you continue to do. How much longer do you have in school?
I think I only have 2 or 3 more semesters. And then after that, I plan on getting my master's in psychology.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can definitely do that. And I can even see you being able to coach others and help them because you have such a warmth to you that just you're kind and you're pleasant. And your mama did you good. She did right.
Yes, she did. My mama and my dad, they both helped a lot.
Yes. Well, God bless you and your family. And I thank you and I admire you. You are like my new hero.
Thank you.
And so, you know, people often think that when they're older, they may not be able to learn something from someone younger, but I believe you can learn something.
You can never stop learning.
Never. And when you stop learning, you shouldn't be here anymore, probably. But you are going to teach the world new things. You are going to do great things in life. And I'm just glad that I got to know you on this podcast. And I hope I get to know you a little bit more. Before we end our segment, I want you to tell people how they can get a hold of you to order your products. Again, like you gave your information, but if you can just give your information again so they know where to get a hold of you. And let's talk about the products that you sell as well. Connie Turner said you are a shero.
Thank you. It's wix.com/Lynne, LYNNE. You can also get to me through my email, which is SHAI, SHAI.Johnson.21@gmail.com. You can just email me, and if you want to order, if you want to know what my products are, I'll tell you. Right now, we have masks. We can get one in any color you want. We'll also do the magical butterfly in any color. We'll do pillows. Again, you can get any color. We also do like a back type of color you want. We'll do the shirt and the water bottle. And I also make necklace. So every book comes with a necklace.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so do you take donations or anything like that where people can support you?
Yes, ma'am. I take donations. I take anything. Cash App, if you just want to give me advice, because I'm always appreciative of that.
Yes. Yes. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that want to know more about you and that want to get to know you and that want to help you on your journey, because that's what it's all about. It's about helping those who help themselves, because when you are doing for yourself, it makes people want to help you. And you are just outstanding young lady. So
Thank
take
you.
several bows and don't ever let anyone tell you what you can't do, because you know what you can do, and you can do all things through Christ, and He's definitely strengthening you.
Yes, ma'am, he does.
And you're so polite too. Ooh, I just love it. All right, well, everybody, I thank you so much for joining us tonight to listen to this young lady. She is such a sweet, kind-hearted young lady that has overcome adversity and challenges and is not looking back. She is looking forward. She is moving mountains. She's creating products. She's encouraging others, writing books. And not only that, but she's inclusive and she's diverse. And she is a young lady, young woman making a difference in this world. And so if you don't have any inspiration based off of this, then something's wrong with you. And if you do have some inspiration, get up and get out and do something with yourself, because we were all created with a purpose. And you know that that purpose is your burning desire and that passion that's inside of you. And see, sometimes things that look bleak and sad and dark are those things that are a diamond in the rough that are just waiting to shine to bring your true light to surface. So remember that you were always created with a purpose. So now it's time for you to all go be great. God bless you. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.